Here we go. All ones. The Deadcat, like the United Cities, started from the freedom-loving bands of pirates who roamed the scorched lands beyond the strict rule of the Second Empire. These pirates formed many loose confederations of brigands who were the never-ending thorn in the side of the Second Empire, as they hunted the valuable trade that was needed for the empire to survive. Unlike the forefathers of the United Cities, the philosophy of freedom these pirates lived by was not corrupted by their avarice desires, and the Deadcat today still shared the ideals of their freedom-loving ancestors. As the Second Empire slowly fell apart, many of these pirate confederations became rulers of cities now abandoned to their own fate by the Second Empire, or they founded new cities of their own as the threat of the hydraulic knights slowly faded away into the memory of past generations. For a time, the Deadcat had wealth and power enough to stand up to the growing might and greed of the United Cities, and their mercenaries were more than a match for any in the land. But as we know, all things of this world are fleeting, and as the United Cities grew, so did the lands of the Deadcat shrink, until all that remained to them was a city that bore the name of their pirate ancestors of old, Deadcat. Deadcat is found on the Cannibal Plains, for once long ago the cannibals were not the great threat they are today, for in the time of the Second Empire their numbers were culled by the hydraulic knights. But as the empire faded, the mercenaries of Deadcat kept the cannibals at bay with their martial skill. Over time, as the Deadcat lost their cities, so too did they lose the wealth needed to hire mercenaries to protect the city of Deadcat, and the cannibal tribes grew ever greater in number, until one night the cannibals came for their city. Caught undermanned and outnumbered, the city of Deadcat fell, overrun by madmen screaming for the flesh of those who lived within its walls. Now the refugees of Deadcat live out their lives in fishing villages found on the coasts of our continent, selling fish to travelers who pass by, and others are found in caravans traveling as free traders across the wild lands of our world, still as before seeking a life of freedom as their pirate ancestors did in that long-lost age of legend.